Welcome to Days of M and J. I'm M.
I'm Jay, and in today's video, we want to talk to you guys about our top 5 things that we love about the United States.
We decided to make this video because we're both immigrants to the United States. I'm from Japan,
And I'm from the Netherlands, and I immigrated only a couple years ago.
and I've been here since 2001.
21 years now. 22.
22.
years. In this video, we're talking about the positive things. At some point, we're also going to be making a video about things that we prefer about our own countries. Make sure to just subscribe to not miss that video once that comes out.
Number 5, friendly people. One of the things that I found really interesting about Americans in general is that they're very friendly. They'll strike up a conversation even if you are a complete stranger to them, and that doesn't happen very often in Japan.
Or in the Netherlands.
One of the funny stories about friendly people in America, it happened at an airport while I was waiting in line at the check-in counter. The lady behind me started talking to me about just general life things, how she loves cats more than dogs, how she's taking this trip because her relationship was over with her boyfriend, and it was just very interesting to hear her life story, and I had no idea who she was.
I also remember when I first came to UAB that I was walking around campus getting some groceries at like CVS and whatnot, and I was waiting at one of the traffic lights to cross the road, and this random stranger just walked up to me and started talking to me about the weather and how I was doing, and basically started telling me his entire life story, and I was just standing there like, what is happening? It's this friendliness from Americans that really gives you the feeling that you belong either in the community or whatever event you might be at the time, and takes away the feeling of exclusivity that you don't belong.
It really does make it easier to make friends, I think, in America.
I think so, yeah. Number 4, car ownership. Now, America is notorious for its car scene and the fact that driving cars, whether it be small cars or really big V8 engine cars, is just an everyday thing.
Owning a car in the United States is cheaper compared to Japan or the Netherlands.
One simple example of this is in order to buy a car in the Netherlands, there is a tax that you pay based on the value of the car. And it's not value-added tax, that's also a thing, but it's an additional tax just because it's a car.
Buying a car in Japan is really not that expensive, but the added cost of having a car, like paying for parking, paying for gas, those things quickly add up. And it might not be quicker to get to your destination with car, especially since we have a fairly good public transport system.
Speaking of fuel costs, the Netherlands at one point, I don't know if it's the case now, but at one point was the most expensive country in the world to buy gas in.
Number 3, diversity. Coming from a very homogenous country like Japan, it was very eye-opening for me to be around so many different cultures and races. Even though I didn't speak any English at the time, people were still very interested in getting to know me. I didn't feel like the odd one out, even though I was very different.
For me, coming from the Netherlands, I already had an appreciation for different cultures. But here in America, the different cultures are other cultures than we have in Europe. So in Europe, it's the different cultures come mostly from like Eastern Europe, whereas here, the cultures are more like from all over the world. So India, China, but also Mexico and South America. And so coming to the United States introduced me to even more cultures. Number 2, bigger space. Because America is so big in terms of square mileage, there's a lot of room for things, which brings a lot of benefits with it.
We love the fact that there's big parking lots for big stores, where there's big spots for your cars. You don't have to wiggle your way into a parking spot or be very squished in between cars when you're going places. The highways are bigger. It's just so much more spacious than what we can get in Japan or in the Netherlands. Because of all the space, we can also buy a lot of things in bulk, like toilet paper, tissue, really anything that you need. Like we have a whole closet full of bulk items, and we just have the space for it.
But not just that, it's also the room that we have in our housing here. We have a 3-bedroom, 2 full bathroom apartment for the cost at which in the Netherlands you could barely get a student dorm. Now, of course, we're not living in a major city like New York City or Chicago, but we do live in a relatively big city, and we just in general get more room here for less money.
Number 1, nature. We love spending time outdoors, so we really appreciate what the United States has to offer in terms of nature. You can find all sorts of beautiful nature here in the United States. You got your mountains, you got your beaches, you have your deserts, you got your forests, you got everything you can ask for. We've personally been to the great natures of Grand Canyon, Monument Valley in Utah. We've been to the beaches in Florida and mountains in Tennessee. It's been a great experience finding little bits of nature in all seasons. And those were our top 5 favorite things about the United States coming from our own home countries.
If you yourself have immigrated to the United States and have come across other things that you appreciate about the United States compared to your own country, make sure to leave it down below in the comment section. Also, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.